G'day, welcome to Hogs, Cogs and Two Aussie Flogs, the greatest podcast this side, Shepperton in Victoria.
Oh, and we are now this side of Shepperton in Victoria, mate. But over the weekend,
we were that side of Shepperton.
We ventured on that side of Shepperton, and so did many more.
It was about 700.
It was the Victorian State HOG Rally for 19. What is it? I've lost a bit of track of time here, mate. 2026. I just lost 100 years. I hate it when that happens.
At least you remember back that far.
That's true, mate. Well, the alternative's not that good. Hey, I'll tell you what, mate, it was good. We had a ripper weekend up there, and we'll discuss the HOG Rally itself a little bit later. But one of the things I wanted to discuss tonight, and as a sort of our main subject, and we were having a bit of a chat about this earlier, is the amount of people I spoke to up there and the amount of people I've spoken to lately who have said that motorcycling has changed their life. And I thought we could discuss that because, you know, a lot of the time I don't think about it, mate. It's just my life revolves around motorcycling, and it has for many, many years. But, you know, when you sit down and you think about it, there's, I'd have a whole totally different life if it wasn't for bikes, mate.
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. I mean, some people say it actually saved their life. You know, some people that speak to us and speak to me sometimes and say, you know, motorcycling saved my life. Without motorcycles, I would have probably offed myself. And I to me, that's unbelievable, you know. But it definitely, I don't know if it changed my life, but it made my life a lot more pleasurable. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, you know what? I can go from when I was, you know, originally into bikes, as a younger fella, and right up until, and I started riding road bikes on the road. I think I was about, I don't know, 21, something like that. If you could call an XL 500 a road bike at the time. So there's that, all the way up to, and you know, all my Jap bikes, and all the way up until I was, I don't know, what was I, 55 or something, and had my spine operated on, and family life took over with the kids and everything, and we went the bikes were gone for about an 8-year period, and it's not until they're gone do you realise what an effect they had on your life. I mean, I was involved in a lot of club life and that sort of stuff earlier, and but when it came back, which was, as you know, the story for me was I got cancer in 2017, and it was during the recovery from that her indoors, the tail gunner there, she said, you're getting your bike you always wanted. And I said, no, dear, we can't possibly afford that. So 21 days later, it was in the driveway, of course. She never let a chance go by, oh Lord, as they say. And I tell you what, everything changed the day that bike rolled into the drive, that Harley rolled into the drive. I'm actually sitting on it now, the fat boy, mate. And it's amazing, you know, once you focus on, and I suppose it happens with other pastimes, that once you focus on that pastime, you tend to associate with people a lot more from that pastime. And in our case, you know, it eventually brought us two together, and it got me doing this silly YouTube thing, and us doing this bloody podcast, and it's the amount of people we've met. I mean, I wouldn't know a single person of that group of, what was it, about 18 or 20 we took away with us this weekend. I wouldn't have known one of those if it wasn't for bikes.
Yeah, well, you know, it's, I mean, and really the group that we, you know, associate with and all that sort of stuff, it's probably up now, you know, that regularly come away and turn up to events and stuff. It's up in the 50s and 60s. So
yeah, when
you think of that, it's an incredible thing that has happened. But, you know, going back, it's always, you know, even back when I was, you know, still dirt bike riding and you know, doing all that sort of stuff, you know, I'm still friends with a lot of those guys that were doing that, and it's one of those things that, you know, whenever you pull up on a motorbike anywhere, somebody's always there, wants to talk to you, wants to ask you about, where you're going, what you're doing, what sort of bike it is. They've always got a memory of when they were younger,
Yeah.
what they were doing on motorbikes, and then even happened, over the weekend when we were zipping around to different places, people come up to us and wanted to talk to us about it. It's one of those things that, because it's a very visual and very visceral type of pursuit, I suppose you'd say, that it attracts people like moths to a flame, and
Yeah.
I think that's one of the great things about it, because there's nothing better than if when you've got something in common, to talk about it. It's a conversation starter, and I guess where you're going with this is, and what we're saying is, how to get the most out of your motorcycle life.
Yep.
Well, the first thing you got to do is go and ride, because that's really going to, that's where it all starts.
And embrace it, mate. Embrace it, because
Yep.
once I really embraced motorcycling, and then you start meeting other people and they've done the same thing. And look, I know there's a lot of you out there, and let us know in the comments if you're in the live chat. Let us know there, or leave a comment on the video in the show notes there. Sort of leave a comment, say, well, how has it affected you? Because as I say, I spoke to a number of people on the weekend, and there were people that said, without bikes, I don't know what I'd do. But yet they've got such an active social life. Every weekend is, it's like when I was a kid, mate. You used to go, what am I going to do on the bloody weekend, And it was always, well, we're going up to Larbatouche riding, or we're going up to Marysville riding. Well, nothing's changed, mate. I'm just hanging around with bigger, uglier dudes.
Much uglier. Well, it's funny you should say that, because Elon and I were talking before, because we're trying to get something organised, and we have literally got something on every weekend from now, pretty much through to the end of May. And what it almost it forces you to get off your bum, and go and do something. You know what I mean? And I just think that's the benefit of it. I think it's really good for it's good for the soul. It's good for the mind.
It's good for the health, mate. It gets you out there.
Yeah.
Nothing's worse than sitting on your ass. I can't understand people that sit at home and watch TV, mate. I mean, I'm just. It's not something I do a lot of it.
Of course,
not during the day. Unless it's
YouTube,
Cogs and Two Aussie Flogs.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And we're watching tons of YouTube, and all we're doing is watching it. So we're looking for the next location to go. So what we're sort of saying is to all you people out there that there'll be people watching this who've got a bike, and they occasionally go out with a friend. But I was talking to one of our flog. Sort of, we'll call him the Flog Army. We had E.T., who came on the Brass Monkey Run last year, and he was saying to me last week, I popped over for a coffee at his place, so he was planning a trip away that week with his lovely wife, and they were going up to Jarvis Bay, and I was giving him a hand with the route and all that sort of thing, and he said, you know what, Whitey? He says, I got the bike because I had a couple of friends that rode, but they don't go out enough. But I just want to do it more and more. And he says, since I found, Hogs, Cogs, and the fact that we've got rides going here, occasionally, he just says it's just given it a super boost. He's very excited about the upcoming Brass Monkey Run, which we'll discuss another time, mate. We're getting close to having all the details for that, but it's interesting, and it's also coming out with a group. It's inspired him to go off, him and his wife, to go off on their own and start doing a little bit of solo touring. So this is their first big ride. They've gone off on a 5-day ride, so I'm looking forward. I'll give him a call tomorrow actually and see how it all went.
And the other thing that's really good. There's a lot of, I've found there's a lot of guys that are a little bit don't know, shy or a bit of a loner or whatever,
Yes.
and they pluck up the courage to, you know what, I'm gonna, the door's open, I'm gonna step through it, and they come along, whether it's on our rides or with the Hog guys or whatever, and all of a sudden they're part of a community that they never thought they had, and all of a sudden they're part of, you know, fun times, and you know, they're going out for, you know, dinners and lunches and going to a pub and
Yeah.
coming to bakeries and all that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. So, and it gives them almost a purpose in life, and that you just see them come out of their shell, and it's a great thing to witness, really. You know, I mean, idiots like us, you can't shut us up. We talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles, but you know, guys like that, for me, that's the great reward, A, of this whole YouTube thing, and B, of you know, I don't know, were you inspiring or encouraging people to get out there and do it?
You know
I
what?
just think it's
And
fantastic.
that's an absolutely huge thing. Again, for those of you guys that are watching, you're sitting at home and you know you don't get out a lot, and you don't get out with a lot of people. Well, hey, we've offered an open invitation to people when we go riding. You're welcome to come with us at your own. When you know it's not organised, it's just when we do something. You know, we're happy to ride with new people, and I think the perfect example of this, Paul. And I'm sure a couple of them won't mind me if I let slip who they are. But originally, when we started doing this, we also did a bakery run via the Harley Roadshow channel.
Yep.
And that bakery run, mate, is legendary for not only for what a great day we had, not only for it being the first ride I went on my road glide, but also it was the first time 2 or 3 of those blokes had actually ventured out, and it took a lot of courage on their part, because they are definitely they were introverted people. Some of them, you know, one has severe PTSD, and yet you wouldn't bloody know it now, would you?
No, not at all.
2 years frigging later, you know, you can't get the bloke off the bike, and we can't get rid of him. He's even if we wanted to, he's absolutely fantastic, mate. And to see the change in those blokes, and to see they have purpose, and look, it doesn't matter what you have purpose in life, mate, but you've got to have a purpose, don't you? You've got to have something that makes you get out of bed in the morning and go step forward. And we hear an awful lot lately on all sorts of bloody, especially motorcycle YouTube channels, people talking about men's mental health and that. Well, I don't think we've ever gone down the men's mental health stage, but on purpose. But the fact that they're, you know, engaging, joining a community, because that's what Hogs Cogs has become. It's basically a community now. And the fact that they now get out there and have so much fun, and the other thing is and I saw this with a club that I used to run years ago as well. The amount of people that meet through the club, but their friendship, you know, I know we had, I think through the old club I used to run, there was 6 weddings. Some of them male, female. So no, there was 6 weddings over the 10 or 12 years I ran that. And the amount of people that have met and become lifelong friends simply because they came on a ride.
Yep.
And, you know, see it on the weekend. I mean, just with Philby and Jace up at Shepperton, they're so close with, you know, especially Jason, his missus, with Tracy and Rick. They're, you know, they live bloody miles apart, but they, you know, they would never have met unless they'd gone on that one ride.
And you think, you know, there's something like they would speak more regularly, more often, and see each other more often than I see my neighbours, and my neighbours live next door, right? So
yeah,
that's
well, they did build a big fence to keep you out.
that's the fantastic thing about it, you know. And even us, like, you look at the Outback trip we did. I mean, there was myself, you, Phil, John, Alex, Cole, you know, and really before all this happened, none of those people had met before, and it's a really close bond, and it's you got memories that'll last a lifetime, and things to talk about forever. And that's what the message for me to all those people out there that are that are considering it or what it might go ahead and do it. It's just and if it means coming
Give
along
it
with
a
us,
crack.
come along. If you want to go and join your local hog group, go and see that and see if that floats your boat. There's a myriad of things to do. Look, I'll give you the perfect example. My daughter, our eldest one, she's 35. She's just got her learners or her bike learners, and she went out for the first time on the weekend with a bunch of her friends, right? And they went. I don't know. She went across to Greensboro Greensboro somewhere like that. And then they did the what's the bloody
International Women's Day.
No.
Wasn't it?
Was it Yarra? Was it Yarra Bend? What's the bloody the
Yarra
bloody
Glen.
twist? No, the twisty bit that all the bike riders go in the city. What's it bloody called?
Oh,
Everybody
Yarra
knows.
Boulevard.
Yarra
Yarra
Boulevard.
Boulevard.
They
Yeah.
went and did
Lot
Yarra
of fun.
Boulevard a couple of but she rode every day over the long weekend. This is somebody who's never ridden before. And now they want to hang around and they're all learners and they want to hang around in a group together because it's, there's safety in numbers and all those sort of things. But there's another thing that's burgeoning and developing, and it's all because of motorbikes. And it's just I know there's a lot of things out there. There's tennis clubs and footy clubs and all that sort of stuff. But there's something about motorbikes that it doesn't matter what you do, what bike you ride, what sort of background you have. It just attracts people together and forms friendships.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of information nowadays that we never used to have in the old days. Now with the thing of the internet, if you're looking for a ride to go on, I mean, as we talk about that, I run Victorian rallies, runs and events. You've only got to look at that, and you can go down and you can get an idea of the sort of event. And it depends on the sort of person. Some people just want to go on a quiet ride with 2 or 3 people. Mm-hmm. Other people love going on a pack ride at whatever. I love going to motorcycle rallies, camping motorcycle rallies. The redback that we recently got back from. We got fish holes later this year. There's about 4 or 5 that are now just muster 10s for me and Lisa. They are. I just love the atmosphere there and the fact that the people there are so down to earth. No one's judging anybody. And as I've said in a number of my videos, mate, there's the women aren't full of Botox and the men aren't. They're full of bullshit, but it's fun bullshit. It's not. No one's there puffing their chest and any of that sort of crap at these sorts of old school rallies. And then you've got the social motorcycle club scene, which again is different in each state. I mean, I know the one in the social motorcycle scene in South Australia, as you know, we've been over and become friends with a lot of them. It's just a fantastic. So you just got to work out what you're comfortable with. So if you're sitting there at home and you're going, what would I really like to do? First of all, get on some of the videos that either Paul's done or I've done or we've done together. You've got, I don't know, there's a shit ton of videos there. And find whatever it is that floats your boat, I suppose, is the important thing. But, most of these things, people just want to go for a ride and they're happy for, and if you're not super confident on the bike, all I would say was when you go, let them know, look, I'm not the greatest rider in the world. Can I just sit at the back and no one will ever say to you, don't, no one will ever say you're slowing us up. Because if someone's running a ride like that, they expect that there will be different skill levels.
Yep.
And we've had that a number of times, haven't we? People come up to us and say, oh, look, maybe I shouldn't because I'm slowing down the tail end Charlie. Dude, that's his job. And he wouldn't do it if it worried him. I mean, I don't know how many kilometres you and I have both done as tail end Charlie, and I've never once got pissed off with someone.
No, never.
I would rather them get to the end half an hour behind everybody else than push their luck and not get to the end, because that really slows me down. Because once you come off and you end up in hospital, I've got to go with you to hospital and make sure you looked after. That's it. My whole day's fucked now. So just ride at your own ability. Just ride at your own ability. If something happens, I'll still come to the hospital with you, but I won't be dark if you've been riding at your own ability. You know, but
Exactly.
there's
And it's not just like, our sort of stuff that we do. I mean, you can get involved in
no,
motocross riding. There's heaps of that sort of stuff going
yeah,
out there. You can get
mm,
involved in
classics,
rallycross.
yeah,
Classics. There's adventure bikes. There's bloody
yeah.
there's old European bikes. There's so many. There's vintage bikes. There's umpteen
Well,
things and
look
places you
at
can
look at
get
the
involved
racing,
with.
yeah, the racing scene. I mean, you don't
Yep.
even have to race to get involved in the racing scene because you can get involved as a marshal if you're really into racing, and then you've got to pick what type of racing you're into because you might be into sports bike racing, you might be into historic racing. I mean, the historic guys, mate, are absolutely fantastic. There's some events coming up in the next couple of months up at what's it called, Broadford, and
Burford. Yep.
I reckon I'm going to get along, mate, because I just being around those guys and their intimate knowledge. It's just like our guys that we go and see that have got collections. Their intimate knowledge of motorcycling and of their motorcycles and their genres. You know, you can sit there and listen. I could sit there and just listen to that all day, mate.
Yep. So going back to what do you think? I mean, I know what I think. What do you how do you think people could get the most out of their motorcycle? Their motorcycle life. What do you think is the number one thing people should be doing to get the most out of it? I mean,
Put your
before you go,
Yeah,
let's face it. They're spending a lot of them spend a lot of money, and
yeah,
I'd hate to think if there's 40 grand sitting in the garage, and then they end up selling it 12 months later because I'm just not using it.
yeah.
What should they do to get the most out of it?
All right. First thing they got to do, mate, is get rid of the excuses.
Hmm.
Because how often do we say, "Oh, I couldn't go last weekend. I had to mow the lawn."
Yep.
Mow the lawn Wednesday night, mate.
Yep.
Save it you're free on the weekend. Don't come home and sit on the couch and do nothing, then go come the weekend. Oh shit, nothing's been done around the house. I've got to stay home. So get rid of the excuses. Get rid of the ego. Don't turn up with my balls are bigger than yours attitude, because trust me, that will be the first thing that will get you the flick from anyone. If you just turn up as someone who wants to get involved, and you don't have to walk into a club and join the committee. Walk into the
No.
club and suss it out. Be prepared to walk away from one. If you go
Yep.
into a club and they say, "Oh, come along," and then you start seeing it, but do your research first. Obviously, most clubs have got a Facebook page. Have a look at them. I mean, we could talk about how to pick a club in relation to social motorcycle clubs and the like. That's a whole different story, mate. But the other thing,
Yep.
I guess, is what we were talking about earlier is just get the gumption up. Make the
Hmm.
first move. It's like when you go to ask a girl out for the first time, mate. You know,
Yep.
you've got to make that step. And I tell you, we're all married, or a lot of us are married. So we obviously took that first step, and we're happy with, mate, I'm happy with the result, and I'm sure you're happy with the result. And it's the same with motorcycling, mate. You've got to make that first move.
You could do from my point of view, a really good way to even dip your toe in the water to just if you, especially if you're a bit, shy or that is you could do far worse than go to something like Geelong Bike Night or Melbourne Bike Night or
Yeah,
get along to that we went last week down at Tooradin, on a
yeah,
Thursday. All great people there, all welcoming, very, very
yeah.
relaxed atmosphere. And you'll get a fair idea, what sort of people are going to be there just by turning up. And it's a place you can go to where you can sort of stay in the background. You don't have to be, in everything. But
That's
it also
actually a
gives you,
really good. That's a really
yeah,
good suggestion, mate, Tooradin, because you couldn't get a more chillax place. You
yep.
couldn't get a greater selection of motorcycles. And you know what? All you got to do is walk up to someone and go, "Geez, your bike's nice, mate." And I'll guarantee you, you'll be sitting there talking to them or standing there talking to them for the next 15 minutes.
Yep.
And who knows? Next week you might be going for a ride with them.
Exactly, and like it always happens, mate. One thing leads to another. Well, I'll give you I'll give you the perfect example. Alex, Alex, one of our mates, our main flogs.
Yeah.
He came up to me at Blessing of the Bikes, and we had a bit of a muck around, and then I saw him again at Geelong Bike Night. And also the other one was that we've sort of already spoke about before was Anthony Frankham, Scrope.
Yeah.
Again, spoke to me there, and he sort of got a shock that I actually spoke to him, and I thought, oh, gee, that was bad. And one thing led to another. All of a sudden, they're part of the group, and everybody's getting along, and for me, I'm sort of lucky. A few of those blokes live around near me, and if ever I'm doing something on the bikes, they're always over here, and they give me a hand, and we sit there and talk.
Any chance we could get some friends in the southeastern suburbs, mate? Take me freaking out. I should go see my closest personal friends. They're all in freaking western suburbs. I've got a tool up to come over there.
We can link you some tools over here. Don't worry about
that. Oh, I know about that. Don't you worry. Jesus Christ. They stole the machete bins over there.
We got people living in them.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate in recycling.
Yeah, it's called a tiny house.
People put decks out the front.
It's some of these guys though have been, I mean, as I said, 3 years ago when we started, just didn't know them from a bar of soap. This isn't YouTube. This is motorcycling that brought this together. You know, talk to you'll meet people at your local bike shop where you go, and you look. If you're a Harley rider, obviously there's the Harley owners group. If you ride a what's another thing?
An Indian
Polaris. Indian? That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. One of those is the Indian Motorcycle Club.
Yep.
They're really good.
There's the British one.
Yep.
Oh, look, or you just get on Google and just you'll find something in your area.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say, which I think really makes motorcycling, you get the most out of your motorcycling, is if you can get your partner, your wife, whatever on board with you, because then it opens up a whole new world for you get on there.
She likes it. Especially if she likes it as much as say Elaine and Lisa do, because they let you buy more bikes then.
It's not so much that, but it takes it makes you feel like you're back bloody 25 again, because you're out and about, you're going away, you're having fun, and a lot of times you're just the two of you, and you all of a sudden all those things with kids problems and that all goes out the window, and you're just back to being just having a good time, and I think it makes your relationship stronger and all that sort of stuff. I know a lot of people have struggled trying to get their spouse or their girlfriend on board because they're a bit gun shy or whatever. But if you can encourage them and get get them to try it out a couple of times and just take it easy, don't get them on board and then drive to bloody Perth. But if you make it a nice, easy, relaxed day, ease them into it, and all of a sudden you'll find it'll give you another reason. It'll give you another reason to ride.
Yeah, and it's great for the marriage. It really is.
Yes.
And it's a whole lot of fun. Look, I'm always saying to you guys and girls is get out there, just get involved. You don't have to go every weekend. I mean, the perfect example, I guess, of it becoming bigger than Ben-Hur is the HOG chapters. And this weekend we left and we went up to, we all met up at, where did we meet? Where was it we bloody met on the way?
Nagambie.
Nagambie, that's right. We met at, that's a great little pub at Nagambie too, by the way. Great beer garden. I was very uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable leaving.
It's actually the rowing club.
The rowing club, was it?
It's called the rowing club.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is how good is it? You're sitting on the deck there, looking at Lake Nagambie with the rowing all in the background. It's fantastic.
Well, the cool thing is we actually went to go to a different place, but the other place was closed. And then over the road was this place, and we walked in and we looked at it and said, "Oh, that looks all right." We'll walk in. They put us outside on the deck, and we're watching the bloody, the bloody big lake behind, and Lake Ngambie, and it was ripper, mate. And the tucker was all right.
Yep.
So the beer was nice and cold, so I don't think there's anything to complain about there.
No.
But we after that we headed off up to Shepperton.
Shepperton.
And they held it at the Museum of Vehicle something, Move it's called. What is it?
Yeah,
Museum
Move.
of Vehicle something or other. I don't know what the E was for. Entertainment, we'll say.
Yeah.
And
Excitement.
what a great bloody great location for it, mate.
Perfect location.
Shepperton's a ripper little town, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what there was, I think there was 700 or it was around 700 there.
It was pretty big.
It was good to see all the badges, mate. There's a lot of badges and patches up there. I tell you, I've never seen so many badges and patches in my life.
I said, Jesus Christ, mate, you want to make some money, mate? Head up there with a sewing machine. Freaking, you're right. I mean, the badges are just mind-blowing on some of them. They just have they fit them on those jackets at times. They must weigh a ton.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's almost like a bulletproof vest by the time they're finished.
Person gets shot, survives from 475 metal pins and 362 badges that they've got on their bloody jacket. But it was very well organised, and everybody seemed to be having a good time. I know they had the band and that on the. Well, they had a single guy singing on the first night. Band each night. And then a band the next two nights.
Yeah, they had the Hawaiian night on the Saturday night. I think you had to wear the Hawaiian.
I went
shirt
to the
and all that
Hawaiian
sort of
night, mate. I went to the Hawaiian night. I was dressed as a pineapple. It was great.
Yes.
An upside down pineapple.
Oh, George. I'm out.
I'm out. He's gone. I lost him. I tell you what, mate, the girls had a good time that night. They were dancing their little bloody legs off. Right? Yep. I tell you what, they all paid for it the next morning, mate. I seen them all. They were all trying to hide it on Sunday morning, mate. But to tell you what, the old carbs aren't what they used to be, I would suggest. But we had a whole lot of fun there, mate. A lot of that was Phil's expense Saturday night because the boys sat there designing something on AI on one of the boys' things and sent him back. Poor old Phil. We might have to pop that up. But what a whole lot of fun. And look, the food was done by the local Rotary clubs. And what I love is that they did support the local Rotary club. It wasn't just caterers or anything. They supported a local organisation. So hats off to, I think, HOG chapter, the Melbourne chapter organised that. And they did an absolutely a ripper job. We went on the Funder Run on Saturday morning. The idea of the Funder Run, I believe, is so they go around the local, right around the local suburbs so that people see that, there's a big bunch of bikers and everybody comes out and waves. And they went through that new estate, and all the people were coming out of their houses with their iPhones and their bloody phones, and all the kids were waving, and it's fantastic, mate.
So the hog, what is it? The statewide hog rally?
Victorian State HOG Rally, 2026.
So you've been really into this sort of stuff for a while now, haven't you?
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. Anything with two wheels is good for me.
Yep.
But it's a different world. It is a bit of a different world.
Yep.
But I tell you what, if you're into badges, a man could overdose on badges.
They got all the badges and all the patches.
Everyone's got all the fucking badges.
Here we go. We've got an Indian rider in the midst of all these Harley riders.
No Indian t-shirt today. I don't want to be mobbed.
What was the go rolling up with that thing?
Well, we're local. We just live literally 2 kilometres that way.
Well,
so we come to support the Hogs today.
What are your classic Indian riders?
He's just rolling with his big Indian.
Hitting it right down the back.
Got balls the size of coconuts, this bloke.
Hey, I'm Dan Page from Hogs.
And, mate, you put the weather on for us. You've got the freaking thing organised like it.
Can't ask for much more, right?
Yeah, mate.
To within an inch of its life.
Yeah, no, 650 hoggies.
Yep.
We got about 600 motorcycles, and we're about to go on the Thunder Run now through the part of Shepperton.
Awesome. So how long is it? So to the viewers, how long does the Thunder Run go for? If they think about joining, hoggies, that kind of stuff, what can they expect on a Thunder Run?
So the Thunder Run obviously is what it is. The Thunder Run's loud. We've got 600 bikes. It's a 1 hour ride. It's not fast. It's more about a display. Going through some residential areas, and we've put a letterbox drop out, so hopefully they'll come out, they'll wave to us.
Yep.
Not see these bikes on display.
Hopefully they're not trying to sleep in this morning.
No, let's not. I just did the run quickly, and I left it in second gear, so I revved quite all the way through there. So
You have a good day.
thank you so much.
No worries. Everybody just get their photo taken. Look at this. How many you reckon are here?
We're estimating between 600 and 700.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a big day.
Yeah.
It's a big event. Yep.
Yeah.
So what's your favourite thing about being an old hog?
It's the camaraderie.
Everything, yeah.
We're a family. We look after each other.
Yep.
What more do you want?
Here we go, folks. These people come all the way from France.
Power Rangers.
How are you, mate? Good? You have a good day, yeah? Everybody hands there, team on 3, come on.
Go, Power Rangers. Power Ranger chapter.
So I found out what chapter we're in.
Yeah.
The Power Ranger chapter.
I'm the pink Power Ranger. I'll set the first.
So when they ask me, I know what to say.
So what do you reckon? There's a cacophony of sound happening here.
It sounds fantastic.
It does sound fantastic.
Then we headed off to, they almost finished up at Total Tools, wasn't it?
Total Tools, yep, yeah, Total Tools.
And I reckon that the little coffee van at Total Tools has never been as influxed. I think 700 people turned up. There's one coffee van there. They actually put a thing up on the Facebook group that the event had, and they said, "We have never been so busy in our lives. Thank you for your patience. We had a ball," and they did a great job too. And yeah, mate, what a rip we get. And that museum was pretty cool. Not enough bikes for my liking. There was only there wasn't a heap of bikes, but what was there was quality. There were some nice bikes there. And they had a lot of games on the Sunday and that.
Yeah, on the Sunday they had the motorcycle going, the barrel roll and all sorts of stuff. We didn't go to that.
Race, yeah.
You sort of had to be part of a chapter.
You were stuck in it was chapter games, so because we're not chapter members, our apologies for that, but you don't want us in your chapter, you really don't. No. And we had a whole lot of fun, mate. They had a whole lot of fun, but we were stuck in a swimming pool with a cold one. It was great.
Well,
but it was very well organised.
I know we got asked a couple of times what chapter we were in. I mean, I think we were in the Book of Mormon at one stage. We were with
I just said we were
the
in
Power Rangers.
Chapter. The Power Rangers chapter. Some people were a little bit obsessed of whether we were in a chapter or not. Well, no, you don't have to be in a chapter to be a member of HOG.
No.
But anyway, it was a lot of fun, mate. I suppose it doesn't matter what you go to. You could say, well, this could be done or that could be done. But you know what? I tell you what I did like. I did like the fact that they had all those vendors out in the car park.
That was good.
Yeah, they had a lot more vendors than they had at the 120th last year in bloody South Australia, that was run by Harley Australia. And
year before last. Year before last
at Tail and Ban. But I think whoever organised all the vendors did a really good job. You know, Joe.
Yeah, well, I
Raskell
think
was
it,
there. They had
Joe,
a chapter there, a
it
shop
was
there.
yeah, it was Joe Rascal and also Gasoline Alley. They were both
Gasoline
there.
Alley,
So
that's right.
yeah,
So that was good. They had both there, and there was lots of other things, signs, and
signs,
t-shirts,
yeah,
and all that sort of stuff.
patches, and
So, signs are just like a badge but bigger.
yeah,
So, so but I tell you what, the check-in process and all that they did was very well
seamless.
done.
Yep.
It was funny because I went to check in. It said, L to Z or whatever it was by your surname. And a mate of mine, Garbo, who was the original owner of the bike that's sitting on the other side of there, my 2010 Road King. So I went to America with him in 2017, Ripper bloke, and he actually checked us in. Well, he wanted to check Lisa in and have me thrown out, but But it was great fun catching up with different people there.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, I'd have to say the hog group life is probably not for me, but that's all right. That's all right.
Yep.
I mean, we still had a good time. Yeah, I'm probably more the social motorcycle club rally sort of scene sort of person.
Yep.
That's what it's all about, is identifying what is your scene. And you've got to try these things, mate. You've got to go and have a look. And
100%.
We still had a fantastic time. We went for we opted to go on our own ride on Sunday, didn't we? We went down to Strathbogie, and Strathbogie's got one shop, really, hasn't it? The cafe.
Yeah, but it's a good one. Then across the Violet Town to the pub there, across the Violet Town to that pub, which was fantastic.
Another good pub,
and that was
Violet Town
pub.
That
was all suggested by Jace, another one of the floggers. He was Look, it was. I mean, it was a great weekend. We had an absolute ball.
Yeah, and you couldn't have picked better weather, could we?
Nope. Or accommodation.
The
accommodation. The accommodation was fantastic too.
Yeah, the accommodation was fantastic, but geez, we paid for it. But we paid for it over a year ago when we booked, so it didn't feel so painful, I guess.
And Brighter Days was on over the weekend too. When I spoke to Colin from Geelong HD, one of our sponsors, and he was there. He was one of the official judges. He said that obviously because of the hog rally, the bike numbers were well down on last year. But he said, but it was still a really, really good event. They had some really good acts this year. They had Chocolate Starfish. They had Leo Sayer, Kate Sobrano, Leo Sayer. There's a whole bunch of good stuff on. So
typical, isn't it? The one year we don't go, they have the best bloody lineup, quite frankly. But I don't know, mate. I mean, Brighter Days I love, don't get me wrong, and I think the causes that it supports are absolutely fantastic. But it seems to have changed to become just a concert sort of event. There's not so much emphasis on it being a biker / car enthusiast event anymore. It's more they're trying to get everybody in. And I understand that, because the whole idea of the event is to make as much money as possible for the charities concerned, but it's just lost its edge a little bit for me. I don't know. What do you say?
Look, I don't know if it's because I've been there so many times that whether I just sort of got over it in the end. But look, it's still a good thing. Look, if you haven't been before, it's a really good thing to go to. But
fantastic
for me, it was starting to get a little bit the same over and over and over again, and like same especially old, that area up there. Yeah. I'd done so many rides up in that area that there wasn't sort of much more to look. And as much as they're fantastic, beautiful rides and all sorts of stuff, but I can go there anytime to do those rides, So, and admittedly, the last couple of years, I thought the entertainment wasn't as good as it has been. But this year was back to, it was exceptional again, right? So, look, would I go again? Yeah, I'll probably go again at some stage, but I just want to do some other stuff, do other things. But I would encourage anybody who hasn't been to definitely go along and check it, especially next year, because next year you won't have the hog rally on again. So it'll be well and truly, people will be able to get up there.
Book early. book
Yeah,
early
but
because next year will be big again. Because a lot of people that missed out this year will turn around and say, "Yeah, I'm going back next year."
yeah, 100%.
So that's cool. Yeah.
Mm.
So,
You really
no,
got to start
it's,
booking now.
You do. For those massive events, you really have to, because people are
Yep.
already thinking, I'm already thinking about this weekend next year, what we're going to do. You know,
Yep.
do we go back to brighter days? Do we do something ourselves? Do we, do something totally different? I don't know, mate. But as
Yep.
you say,
Yep.
but when it comes to motorcycling, the calendar can fill up really quick. And
Very quick.
sort of between, I don't know, mid-October till about end of May.
Yeah.
That can be a very, very busy, certainly for us, and it could be for you too if you want it to be. It doesn't have to be though. You don't. The good thing about clubs is, or most clubs, is they're just happy for you to come along. And I would say, if you're going to go to a club, put a little bit back in. Don't just put some back in, but go and make sure it's the club for you first, because I mean, how many of the blokes have we met lately from different bike clubs? Especially with the Broken Roads Rally, we had the guys from G-Town Bobbers, and we go over to the Southeast social meet here once a month that's being run. And look, that's another one that's a good one to come up with, but that'll all be on the Hogs,
Rallies, runs and events.
Pick some, some social things to come along, because you get to meet the people, and you'll soon see. Look, you'll go to some clubs and you go, it's full of wankers or whatever. They're not my sort of people. Or you might go to the next one and go, they're all fantastic. They're all as mental as I am, or whatever, or that sort of thing. So you might like a more outrageous sort of group, but go on, do crazy things and have big rallies and drink too much or party too hard or whatever. If you're into that, there's plenty of that out there, I can tell you. But there's plenty of it. It's just go for a social ride and they'll head off down to a catch up. So all I can do, mate, is recommend people get off their ass and get out there.
100%. Now, speaking of getting off our ass and getting down there, next weekend is the Broken Roads, Broken Promises Rally.
That's another
down
weekend away.
Yes, down in Warrnambool. So, guys, please get down there if you can. We want as many people down there as possible on the Civic Green in Liebig Street. It's the perfect spot for it. You can park your bikes up on the grass right in front of us if you want to, which would look fantastic if everybody could do that. We look forward to seeing you all down there at midday. I think we both spoke to the police today, getting stuff organised. I've spoken to the local MPs down there, getting people to come along, and I think you did an interview with the was it the Warrnambool Tribune?
Warrnambool Standard.
Warrnambool Standard.
Yep.
I think
So we're getting it out there. We've got it on all the socials down in the Warrnambool area and Portland area. So, look, the roads are affecting us all. They're affecting you if you want to go for a ride, and especially if you want to go west. Look at
the Goulburn.
If you can.
Look at the Goulburn Valley Highway as well.
Hey, how far into the Goulburn Valley Highway did we have to be, mate? Half an inch.
Not very far.
Right across where you pulled off the other road onto the Goulburn Valley Highway. There was 7 of them.
Yep.
And you happened to hit all 7, I think.
No, I hit the one.
Man?
Oh, you know what? You know what the problem is? If there's a car in front of you, even if it's like 50 meters, 60 meters in front of you, whatever, you're coming off the freeway, you don't get a chance to bloody move left or right, because boom, it's all of a sudden it's there. And conversely, you're coming home yesterday on the left hand, so coming towards Melbourne, there were 2 potholes, and I'm not exaggerating here. They would have been that deep, maybe even a touch more, and they would have been a meter and a half round. One after the other in the left hand wheel line, right? God help you if you hit them, because it will completely, it'll ruin your car, but it'll ruin your life if you happen to hit that on a bike. I can tell you,
Hit that on a bike.
it was horrendous.
Well, I
But
can give you
you go.
Go on. I can give you my free monthly report on the Melbourne Highway, which happens to change every 3 months. This time, between Yarra Glen and Yea, it's actually real. It's pretty good at the moment, I would suggest. There's a couple of potholes off to the left-hand side, but you can see them plenty of. So that was pretty good going up on Friday. And coming home today, there were 2 big ones on the left-hand side, but they weren't on the riding line. So it seems that they've done it again and repatched them all. The problem is I'll go back there in 3 months' time and it'll be a complete shambles again. And then 3 months later, I don't know how many times they've fixed it. Yeah, and this is the problem. They're not fixing anything. They're patching. And where they do a proper fix, it stays fixed.
Yeah.
And they've done a lot of that on the Melbourne Highway. So it's getting better, the Melbourne Highway. But that's good. I'd love to know which politician lives up that way, because it gets a hell of a lot of work done on it. But it just keeps having to get it done again and again and again and again. But Warrnambool Way, the Western Highway, the Hamilton Highway, all those things down there, you've only got to go to our Facebook page to have a look at that. What was it, main road into Port Fairy, that bridge?
Oh, I can't remember.
7 massive steel plates on it. You wouldn't bloody. But they were saying it's all right, it's being fixed. Well, how long? How long is it going to remain a death trap?
One thing that worries me with people, and I actually made a comment, like, because we've posted a lot of that stuff on the Warrnambool pages, and unfortunately people are just jaded, you know what I mean? And people saying, what's the point? What difference is it going to make? And all. Well, I can tell you this: if we can make this an election issue, and I think it is, and I think you'll find over the past couple of weeks it was starting to become more prevalent on the Liberal Party's social media posts and all that sort of stuff. If you can make it an election issue, I guarantee you those roads will get fixed ASAP. Because they'll want to be shouting it from the rooftops. Look what we've done, and look how we're improving your roads and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And like we keep saying, we don't give a shit who does it, as long as somebody does it. And to those people that are a bit apathetic towards doing this sort of stuff, I'm telling you now, if you don't get off your bum and show a bit of fight, you will be left behind. You will have a dirt track as your main thoroughfare in your town, in your district, wherever you are. And you will sit there and you will complain for the rest of your life on Facebook, and nothing will ever get done. If you make it an election issue, it will get fixed.
Well, I've actually said that on a couple, mate. I've actually seen someone say, "Oh, they don't give a shit," or "It'll achieve nothing."
Make them give a shit.
You know what will achieve nothing, mate? Sitting on your ass at home complaining on Facebook. You've got to make a stand. And you know what? I'd rather go to what do they say? Better you just got to make a stand, mate. You got to be able to look yourself in the mirror every morning and say, you know what, I might not have succeeded, but at least I gave it a bloody shot. Sitting on your ass, being all apathetic. Apathy fixes nothing, and it's going to kill this country. It'll kill this country, mate. All this apathy. I know we're worn out with protests. We're sick of seeing them. You're not sick of seeing them down at Warrnambool. You've not been down there. Warrnambool, you don't have a lot of protests down your way. And that's one of the reasons we're bringing it to you, because we're sick to death of the country having to come to the city with their problems. The bastards in Springsheet, mate, they should be sent out. Every month they should be sent out into the country, and they should be supporting the bloody people of the country, like we do when we go away and we put our hands in our pockets and we feed we put money into the local economies and that. And we want you to do that too. If you're coming down on Saturday, don't just come down for the rally and leave. Come down for a rally, then go and have a bite to eat somewhere, a coffee or something like that. Put some money into the local economy, and let them see that bikers or anyone concerned, we're actually there rooting for the country, because we're all Aussies, mate.
Yep.
It doesn't matter where we're from. We're all Australians. And
Yep.
sometimes those people in Spring Street seem to think that the borders end at freaking the south, at the suburbs.
Correct.
And they don't. They don't.
No,
Because
no.
without the people in the country, mate, we'd be missing out on a whole lot of stuff like being fed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like one of the things I mentioned in the post was, at the moment you keep saying nobody listening to you. Well, we're giving you a platform to have your say, right? We're happy to use us as your voice, and that's what we're trying to do. That but you need to turn up, because if we rock up down there and there's 3 men and a dog, well, it's going to have little to no effect. So you've got to put your big boy pants on and get down there and get supporting.
All right. So Warrnambool, we're appealing to you and the people of that district and Portland and all that area around
Halton,
there.
Mortlake, Port Fairy, Portland, Terang, Timboon. There's stacks and stacks.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Put a couple of hours aside. Come in,
Correct.
let's make a party of it in Warrnambool, mate. Let's have a whole lot of fun. I was talking about the sergeant there today, as you said. You spoke to him first, and then I gave him a call and we had a chat. And I said, mate, we want to come down there and support your community. We're not coming down to be a pain in the ass. He was a bit worried at first, mate, but we've alleviated all these worries, because we've given him I gave him the details of the coppers we dealt with in Melbourne, who were more than happy with what we did in Melbourne. Well, we want to do even better in Warrnambool, mate. We want to have more people if we can, because we're not just going to have bikers, motorcyclists there this time. We're going to have truckers. We're going to have, residents. We're going to have farmers. We're going to have hopefully caravanners and holiday makers that use those roads and do their best to support that community. But you know what? They're not being supported back, because the roads are an absolute disgrace.
Yep.
So get down there, 12 o'clock, Civic Green.
Civic Green.
21st.
21st.
So next Saturday.
Yep,
Not this Saturday, but this Saturday? Oh, yeah,
No, next Saturday.
Next Saturday. So not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a fun, and our idea is for it to be serious for maybe an hour, but the rest of the time it's going to be, hopefully a bit of a festive atmosphere, mate. And if you want some of the Victorian roads are disintegrating stickers, we'll have the Hogs, Cogs and Two Aussie Flogs marquee there, and we'll have the girls man and that, and you'll be able to purchase yourself a Victoria's roads are disintegrating, make Victoria's roads great again sticker. Get them all over your car, get them everywhere, so that when her lordship is driving home, she gets to see her name up in lights, because we wanted her to feel popular, don't we?
Yes.
And let's just say one more time, we are not affiliated with any political party. We don't.
Nope.
We hold every one of them in contempt. So
So
if you're a Labor, and we've thrown this challenge out already, if you're a Labor person down that way, come and see us. We'll give you a voice. We'll give you biker protection. You should be used to that.
we'll give you a marker. Look out.
All right. Well, what I mean, we will have anyone from, if you're from One Nation and you're supporting One Nation down there, or you're going to be the candidate or want to be one of the candidates down there, come and see us. We don't care what party you're from. The Greens, if you want a lot more bitumen and you're a Greens member, you've probably been kicked out.
Probably in the wrong party.
Probably in the wrong party. But hey, if the Greens have got a better idea, if they think we should all be taking buses, come and tell us at the Greens.
Yep.
I'm sure everybody will be able to discuss that with you at length.
Yep.
So we don't care if you're an independent. If you're an independent down there, what are you going to do when you get into power? Because you know what? We're not just talking to the current government. We're hopefully talking to the future government or the future government representatives. And we want to see what they're going to do. So we're going to hold the local Liberals' toes into the fire a little bit too while we're down there. It's not all going to be beer and Skittles for them. They don't just get a free kick at the government. You
Yeah.
know, because it's very easy to stand there and say the Labor Party are doing a shit job. All right, but you need to commit. Basically, they need to start committing to what they're going to do, mate. And don't say, "Oh, we'll have to see what the finances are." Bullshit. Our people are dying out there, mate. There's nothing.
Yep.
I don't see much else that is more important than saving human life
No.
for a government. So don't tell me that it's more important. You know, the only thing that would be better is if you maybe put some more money into the hospitals and that you could probably argue, but
Yep.
there's so much other shit that money's wasted on. But
Yep.
don't tell me there ain't money there to fix the roads that'll save Victorians' lives, because it's just bullshit.
That was the exact conversation I had with Roma Britnell's office today when the people rang me from there.
Yep.
It was literally word for word exactly what I said to them. Is the first priority of government is to keep the public safe, and they're failing miserably.
Yeah. The current government is, but you know what? You don't get the excuse that there's no money. That's bullshit, mate. And I've seen it so many times. Every time government changes hands, oh yeah, we were going to do that, but there's no money. Bullshit. Because 5 minutes later, we're sending money overseas, or we're doing this, that, and the other, and you just go, really? That's just bullshit, mate. There's plenty of money there. Prioritise it, and these roads need to be a priority. And you, as a rider, need to step up and come to this rally and show this government, because, as we say, it's annoying. For the farmers, it's costing them money. For the other road users, they're denting rims and things. We're putting people in hospital, and you could be the next person in hospital. So you know what? Put a couple of hours aside, or put a weekend aside. We're going down Friday, get it all sorted, and then we'll see you all there Saturday. And I'm looking forward to it, mate. I reckon it's going to be a great atmosphere, and we're going to send a message to these bastards in Spring Street. Enough is enough, mate.
Yep, 100%.
Cool. Now, speaking of which, there is a lot happening, and I'll just let me flash this up in the screen for you, mate. At the moment, it's just as you were saying before, how busy we are. Have a look at this. This is just Victoria at the moment. I'll just let you have a quick look at that while it's on. As you can see, the Broken Roads, Broken Promises rally there is going to be absolutely huge, mate. But there's a few. There's lots of other things there. I'm not going to go through them all individually because we'll be here all day. But that's the Victoria Rallies Runs and Events Facebook group. And there's probably another 20 under that at the moment on the initial page. So get yourself along. I'll put the link in the show notes if you want to get along. I think there's about 8,000 people following that at the moment, and it's updated once a week. And you can have a look at what weekend you've got free and what's going on. And I tell you what, mate, I did make one little mistake.
What's that?
Well, when we set the Broken Roads, Broken Promises date, I said nothing was on. I was devastated because it's on the same weekend as the Logan Pub bike show. Oh, devastated because I would normally go to that, and so that's one hangover avoided. I guess.
Yes,
that's about all.
Exactly.
But anyway, there's so many things there. So I'm not going to go through that. There's also a lot happening in New South Wales and South Australia, as I said last episode. Chop runs the New South Wales Rallies Runs and Events page. The link's in the show notes. And Animal in South Australia has started the South Australian one, which is slowly gaining a little bit of momentum. So if you're in South Australia, take a look at that. Link again in the show notes, mate.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been another big week, mate. Another big weekend away.
It has.
Enjoyed it immensely, and now I'm going to go to bed, I reckon.
All right, sounds like a plan.
For about 2 days. All righty.
Well, that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's it, mate. Let me have a look. Yep, all looks done. Done and dusted for another fortnight, mate. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Beautiful. All right, well, that's it from me.
That's it from me.
That's it from Hogs.
Cogs.
And Two Aussie Flogs.
Ciao.
See you guys.